Hello, hello! Happy Tuesday Night Live. It is Tuesday, September the 13th, and I am coming to you live from my happy place, also known as my stamp room. I call it a lab because there's a lot of, experimenting that goes on down in this place. My name is Betty Sakosha. I am I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the United States and the leader of the Power of Positive Inking team. So welcome for joining me this evening. I have a couple of things that I just wanted to kind of update you or refresh you on. And one is that Stampin' Up! Is for the month of September offering weekly deals. So there's a number of items that are on sale each week for the month of September. So the next batch, so there have been 2 batches so far. The next batch is coming out tomorrow. So you'll want to check those out and see if there's anything there that you need/want. And on top of that, something big is going on this week, and that is that every stamp set in the annual catalog, so the big catalog, not the holiday catalog, but the big catalog here, every stamp set is going to be on sale on Thursday for 15% off. So it doesn't include bundles, so you'll want to figure that out if that's something that you're looking for a bundle, that perhaps you want to do the math and figure out if it's worth it for you. But if there's stamp sets themselves, you definitely want to be able to take advantage of that. And there's like a lot of great word sets that I was thinking that don't necessarily go with bundles, but it's always handy to have more words, right? So anyway, you definitely want to go through your catalog, check that all out, because you can add to your order, so you can get your 15% off the stamp sets as well as the weekly specials. You can also look at the clearance rack, add all that in. Might be a great time to take advantage of getting a Paper Pumpkin prescription. Wouldn't that be nice if you could get a prescription for Paper Pumpkin? A subscription to Paper Pumpkin. The next couple months are definitely holiday themed, so that may be something that you want to take advantage of or you want to give to somebody. So all of that is happening. Definitely Thursday is your day to be making some purchases. So please take advantage of that, either through my website if you are a customer of mine, or through your demonstrator's website, so that you don't miss out on the special. Now, what I'm showing you tonight, while the stamp set is on sale, it is a bundle, and it is currently my new favorite. Shocking, right? Hello, I see Patty and Susan. I feel like I'm on Romper Room. Does anybody remember that show? Okay. There we go. My desk. Let me scooch you down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is a bundle that is called Brewed for You. You can find it in the catalog, the annual catalog, on page 83. So the stamp set itself is only $18 and will be 15% off on Thursday. And then the dies are, I'll tell you, if you get them separately, they're on 161. I did not do the math because math, but I still think I still think you end up saving money. The dies that go with it are $24. I'll have to figure that out quickly later on. But it's 15% off the stamp set and then $24 for the dies, or you can get the combo for only $37.75, and you're going to want it. This is a really handy set to have that I actually did not know I needed, but I was wrong. I definitely need it. So there's some really cute cards made with it there, and then I'm going to show you some of my own cards made with it. Okay, so let me get started showing you what comes in this. And I don't have all the parts cut out yet because I just started playing with it, but I can tell you what we've got here. We've got a beer stein and some beer that goes inside. We've got a growler. We've got a Pilsner glass and some beer for the inside. We've got foam for the top of the Pilsner. We've got foam for the top of the stein. We've got some leaves. We've got, I don't know what you call it. Well, could look like wine, which is a handy thing to have as well. Or it could look like, I forget what you call them, but the kind of squat, I don't even know. I don't even know what you call them, but kind of the squat beer things. And then this is some beer for that as well. This fits nicely into the stein. These marks here, and they kind of make that, you know, your typical stein marks. And then this I thought was an artichoke, but I think it's hops. And I'm not positive, but I saw somebody else note that. Somebody that sounds like they're a real brewer. So I'm going to guess that's what it is, but I also have to do a little research. If it's artichokes, I'm not sure why it's with the beer, but there it is. You can never have too many artichoke stamps or dies. Okay, so those are the dies that go with it. And then the stamp set itself, I probably should have showed you this first. This is the part that I was talking about, that these kind of fit into these lines here, kind of your typical big stein. This here fits into the stein to make your beer, your bubbly foamy for the stein and for the Pilsner and the beer, some carbonation, the growler, this container, this glass that I can't remember the name of, and then some beer or wine that fits inside of that. And the greetings, I owe you one or several. Another round for your birthday, and oh, hell yes. It's my fave. Okay, so I'm going to play with this tonight and show you kind of a quick card made with this. This card is actually going to be a slimline card. Now, if you are not familiar with slimline cards, they are, well, the envelopes for these exist on page 137, or you can use a regular business size envelope. These clearly are fancier and nicer, these here. But like a legal size envelope will work fine for your slimline cards as well. All right, so I see Janice is just tuning in. Janice is going to love this because I can just tell. So I'm going to make a slimline card using this Brewed for You bundle. All right, so I need a decision from you. And I'll show you basically where I'm going with this, and then you can tell me what you think I should use for the background. Actually, I can kind of put everything together, and then we can decide at the end. I'm not sure if I want to use Sahara Sand as my base card. This is sort of what it will look like. I'm kind of thinking I might want to do that. Let me do that. I was going to ask for an opinion, and look at me, just taking matters into my own hands. I'm going to do it this way because I have another sample that I can show you in the end, and you can tell me at the end whether I made a mistake or not. Okay, so let's put this together here. This DSP that I'm using here, I cut at the card itself. Let me take you a step back. The card itself is 8.5 inches long, and it is 3.5 inches high. So when you open it up, it's 7 inches by 8.5 scored down the middle. So that's going to give you your slimline card. They come in several different sizes, but that's the size I'm going to use. Okay, because the math is easier, frankly. Okay, so the DSP that I'm using is our Hello Harvest. Actually, I don't know what it's called, but it goes with the Hello Harvest set. And it has some kind of harvest word in it. And that's what I'm using here. So this is Cajun Craze. You could also in the, I think it's called What a Man, or He's a Man, or You the Man, or something along those lines. That set of DSP also has some Cajun paper that has some pattern to it, which is kind of nice. Okay, so I did use my green glue because it's my favorite, and it also gave me a little wiggle room to kind of move it right down to the bottom here. So This is going to go right on the front of my card so far. This is your basic card. Put this down here, and I am building this on espresso, and I will show you why in just a minute. Okay, so that's my card base, but let's get to the good part. Okay, I used some vellum cardstock, which is found on page 130. Nope. It's not found on 137. I'm sorry. It is found in our catalog at the end somewhere. Oh, shoot. Our vellum design. We have vellum paper. We do have vellum. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. Okay, right here. Vellum paper, vellum cardstock. And it is 20 sheets, 8.5 by 11 for $10. And that's found on page 140 of the catalog. But that's where it is right there. And just to show you, if you're not familiar with vellum, it is see-through. But the vellum cardstock that we sell now is a little bit thicker. I think you can kind of get a sense. We used to sell paper and cardstock, and now we're selling just cardstock. And for this project, it's perfect. So if you don't have any of that, you'll want to look into it because it's really good. So what I did was that I cut out my steins. So let me show you the pieces that I used for this. I used this here. I'm not going to do this on camera, but I cut out a bunch of steins using the vellum, right? So you can already see kind of the look of a stein. Now, I did not stamp it first. I chose not to, but you certainly could if you wanted to do that as well, is to stamp the image of the stein on here and then cut these out. But for mine, I'm not using the stamped image. Let me show you the stamped image, what I do with it. So you could have stamped this on it and then cut it out, but I chose not to. Okay, so I have 5. Oh, I have 6. In case one breaks, I guess. 5 different steins. I'm quickly looking at my note, and Susan's using more green glue to put cards together faster. I love green glue. I could be the poster child for green glue. I love it. So I am always happy to hear when other people are using it. So thank you, Susan. I am very happy to hear that. Okay, so I cut out a bunch of beer, what I consider to be good beer color. So I used this right here, which fits right inside the stein. And I used a bunch of different beer colors. So here would be like a good Guinness color. Here would be like your basic kind of amber ale, Oktoberfest-ish type beer. This would be a good, maybe like a hazy IPA. And then I got a couple of lighter beers. So like, you know, like a Stella and maybe Bud Light would be the lightest one of all. So because I have all this beer, I decided I don't want them all to be the same height. So I'm going to cut a couple of them at different heights. And just so you can see, the bottom of this has a little bit of a curve to it, while the top of it is straight across. So I'm going to make sure that I am cutting off the top and not the bottom. And I am going to just put this in my paper cutter and give it like I've drank about half my beer. All right, so let me do that. And I put it in my paper cutter just so it comes out straight across, because that would be much more natural looking, right? And then I'm going to take maybe my Bud Light, because it's a very easy beer to drink a lot of. So I'm going to do that and put it right at the bottom here. So I've only got a little tiny bit of that beer left. All right, so let me show you how to put these together. Because it is vellum, we need a different way to do this, right? Vellum, you can't glue on vellum. You can't use adhesive on it, or you can see right through it. So we have to be a little bit tricky about how we do this. So, green glue to the rescue. If you are new to this, the glue is not green. It's Tombow multi-mono glue. Multi-purpose mono glue. But the container is green, so I call it green glue, and I'm not alone. A lot of people call it green glue. So let me zoom you in and show you what I'm doing. So I am using my silicone pad. If you're wondering why I have these clips on here, it's because I have 3 together, and I hang them on my wall unless I need to pull them apart. So that's what that clip is about. And I'm putting my green glue on here, and then I just have a little sponge that I cut up, and I'm going to use this on the actual beer itself, okay? So I'm going to just dip my sponge into the glue and then dab it onto my beer. And I don't want it to be too noticeable. I'm going to show you what can happen if it's too noticeable. Now I'm just taking my vellum stein and sticking it right on top of the beer. And now I can't see the glue, which is exactly the look I was going for. All right, so let me do this with the rest of these. You definitely want to tap this off because you want it to be light. You don't want the glue really to show through. So if you see glue on your cardstock, you're probably going to see it on your once it's glued down here into your beer mug. Yikes. I want to move that over just a smidge. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's my Guinness. Move that out of the way. This is my, I don't know what we're calling this, hazy IPA. And get my beer mug for this. Now, the reason that I thought would be a good thing to show you this tonight is because October is coming. And that is Oktoberfest in Germany and in many places that just want to celebrate it. So I thought this, if you knew about this now and it was something you needed, you'd have a chance to get it to send out all of your Oktoberfest cards. You didn't even know you needed Oktoberfest cards, did you? You do. Okay, so now with this one, my pumpkin ale, if you will, you can see that it's half full. You're going to be able to see this better once I pull these all in and get up my my mat out of the way. And then this tiny little, I don't know, Bud Light Coors. Let's call it Coors. I like Coors better. It's tiny, and that will be almost an empty stein. Okay, so now you're not going to see the glue shine through this. This was a way to utilize vellum and not have your glue shine through. But I did want to show you this here. So this was, you can see that, right? That glue that's on there. It is drying. And then when it's all dry, you're just going to take your hand or your finger, or whatever here, and then it forms into like little glue balls. And you could just clean those off. You can run it under the sink afterwards, and then you can start again. So this is a reusable commodity that you're definitely going to want. I don't know if it's a commodity. It's not a commodity. It's a reusable craft tool that you're definitely going to want. So the silicone mats, if you don't have one yet, you definitely should put that on your wish list. All right, so let me bring in all of my beer. And let's bring back, oh, okay, so I definitely should have stamped this before I started. Let me move my beer out of the way, and I'm going to stamp this. Now, my original card that I'll show you when we're all done, I really wanted the words, "Oh, ale, yes." But the beer mugs are going to line up. 5 of them fit across here. So, "Oh, ale, yes," in this configuration did not fit. So I put "Oh, ale, yes," which I will show you in just a minute. But I will be honest, it was tricky and not easy to do because these letters, kind of like the A comes down into where the Y is. It's just a little trickier than I had hoped it would be. But certainly these greetings would have worked great. Another round for your birthday, and I owe you one or several. However, I found another set that I wanted to use for my for my Oktoberfest card, and that is this set here called Good Feelings. It's a cling stamp set, and I want to use the word hooray. There is hip hip hooray, but I'm just going to use hooray on this one, and I'm just going to use hooray. Okay, so I'm going to do that along the top of my, right along the top of my card. I like to use a block that is not much bigger than my image. The bigger the block, if I were to use a really big block like this, I am likely to kind of squish it into my ink pad and end up with ink on either side, which I don't want. It could still happen with this, but the chances of it are much less. Okay, I'm going to use my Cajun Craze, or my pumpkin spice, as I will refer to it for the next month. Okay, so here's my hooray. I'm just going to take a look. I'm using my grid pad to see if it's straight. Yep, looks pretty good. So you can use your lines on your grid pad to help you to determine if what you're stamping, sometimes when you mount these stamps on here, the sticker may not be straight, or the stamp actually is not quite straight on there. So that's a good way to check it, is to use your grid pad and see if it lines up pretty straight. And this does. And for the record, I should have never mounted all this before I stamped it, but I did. So here we go. All right, I'm going to put hooray right over here. What I like about the fonts on this is that they are not... Oh, I do not like how that came out. All right. Bonus lesson. Let me show you something I'm going to do. I'm getting out my heat gun. Okay, let me unzoom you here. This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm getting out my heat gun, and I am going to take this off. This is a trick if you messed up like I did. So if you heat the back of something that you have glue on, it melts the glue. So in this case, I could just go get more paper, but I actually didn't cut any more of that paper, so this is why I'm doing it this way. But I'm just using my heat gun, and because the heat gun has a little thing there, I can actually just use use it as a stand and kind of move this around, and you'll start to see that I can peel off. It's melting the glue. This works with Tombow. It works with, I've never tried it really with I'm trying to think. I haven't really tried it with like sticky strip, but it definitely works well with Tombow. Not that I've messed up a lot of cards, but I've messed up a lot of cards. And this will help you to peel it right off. Ah! Okay, this really is an easy trick that I am butchering right now. So if you give me 1 second, it'll be easier for me to just go get some more paper. I apologize. All right, hang on. Chat amongst yourselves for a second. All right, let me bring in my paper cutter, give a really quick cut there. You should always, 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 if you're going live, you should always have some extra paper, but I didn't. You may be wondering what this is all about here, and it's just helping me to not pay attention to the lines that were where the centimeters are, and pay attention more to the lines where the inches are. So that's why I cover those up. I just use a little washi tape so it will come off if I need centimeter lines. Okay, so this is 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then, as I mentioned before, the actual base of the card is going to be 8 1/2. So this is already 8 1/2 wide, and it's going to be 7 inches total. And then I'm going to score it at 3.5. You have to score cardstock. Whoops, I almost cut it. You have to score cardstock. If it's not going in an easy direction for it to fold, you need to score it, and it was not going to go in an easy direction. So it's scored, it's good to go. Here we go here. And I've got an extra strip of this. This I had extra of, just not the whole card. Oh, Betty, what are you doing? Before I glue it, did you see what I almost did? I almost did it one more time. You definitely want to stamp before you actually glue anything down. So, let me... Hopefully this comes out, but if not, I've got the other side. Boom. Good. Okay, now I can glue. Now I can glue. Has that ever happened to you? If it hasn't, don't respond, because I want to know that I'm not alone on this. Okay, there we go. All right, so that is the bottom of our card. Now we can actually glue it down. Someday I'll show you the trick that I was trying to pull apart, because it actually works quite well to heat up your, if you've glued something down that you didn't mean to glue down, or it didn't work out well for you, or whatever the case may be, it does actually work quite easily. And I will do a video on that someday, but not today. Okay, so here is the front of my card. Let me bring in all of my beer and show you how we're going to attach this. So I have 5 different beers, and I think we're going to do it like so. So every other one has some yellow to it. I like the look of that. Okay, now to stick these on, we're just going to use dimensionals, because I can put the dimensional right on the back where the beer is. And I can put it right on my shelf. So what I like to do is, if I'm spacing things out, I like to start with the 2 on the outside and then work my way in. So this one here, as you can tell, is almost empty. It's an almost empty stein. So for this one, I'm just going to use some baby dimensionals, because these fit on here better. And because it is vellum cardstock, it is going to hold up. Paper cardstock would be a little bit flimsy, but the vellum cardstock is going to hold up with just the dimensionals right on the bottom. Alrighty, so let me see. I kind of have that right about there. And now I'm just going to fill in my insides. Alright, we'll put 1 on there. Get that guy ready there. Whoops! Oh, my beer fell off. Hang on, hang on. Remember the trick I showed you a minute ago? We're going to redo that. Let me grab my... Now I've got... There's a dimensional on the back. But I can put it right on here, because this is silicone. And it's not going to stick to it for good. Now let me give it a good press so that it is sticking on there now. And as you can see, I could pull that right up. So that is nice. Okay. My second one. My 4th one. Right over here. And then this guy should fit right in the middle. So, on a slimline card, you can fit 5 beers. 5 steins. You could probably fit more Pilsners, for sure, because they don't have the handle. There we go. Hooray! Okay, so this is the one that I did using Sahara Sand. This is the background here. So you can tell me which you prefer. Let me show you the original one that I made. And this one, I kind of think I like the light background better. So this is the Oh Ale Yes that I told you I had to get very strategic, because the image itself starts like so. So I had to ink it up 3 different times the best I could to line it up. So it was a little bit tricky, but I really like that saying, so I wanted it on this like that. And then on the inside, I used an image from the actual stamp set, and then I just used dimensional blends to color that in there. So tell me which one you like better. If you like the one here with the more muted background. I really think I like the brighter background. I think if I make it again, I'm going to do the brighter background again. All right, let me show you 2 more cards made with the same stamp set. This is by a demonstrator named Jilly Bling. Jilly Bling. I was at a convention a couple of weeks ago, and she swapped this card with me, and I love it. So she used the Oh Ale Yes, the way it is already on the stamp, and she put it inside the growler, which I thought was really cute. And then she's got some of the foam going on there outside of this, and then that that other glass. And then she made a shelf. How fun. She made a shelf in this really cool, I'm not sure what she used for this, what this label is, but she did a really, really nice job with that. So that was a fun one. And then this was just one more that I was playing with today, just using the Pilsner glasses with all different kinds of beer. And then on the inside, I only inked up part of it, so it looks like it has been drunk down. Someone had a drink, and there's less of it in the glass. So that's one more sample there. So these are my Oktoberfest cards. And if you don't have this set, think about it. It is fun, fun, fun. Let me flip you around and chat for a minute. Okay, it's a really fun set to use. And like I said, I did not think I needed it at the beginning. I saw it was cute. I used somebody's and I said, yeah, that's cute. But then I started playing with it and I was like, yes, I definitely need that. So I'm glad I have that. Anyway, if you are interested in getting your own Brewed For You set, you can get the bundle. The combined bundle will save you 10% on this coming Thursday, as I mentioned at the beginning. All of the stamp sets in the annual catalog will be 15% off, so you will save money on all of those. If you don't have this set, for sure add it to your list, because this is a good one. Not only does it have hooray, but it's got thank you, which is really nice. You're on my mind and in my heart, which is a handy one to have. I'm just so happy for you. But probably my favorite saying in this whole thing is sending sunshine and good feelings your way, because I feel like you can use that for a lot of different things. So it's a really nice set. It's called Good Feelings, and it is on sale for 15% off, along with every other stamp set in the annual catalog. Oh, good. Kristen told me that her mom is having a beverage as we speak, and I know her mom, and she deserves it. So good for you. In any case, if there's anything that you need, please reach out to your demonstrator. If I'm your demonstrator, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out. If you have a different demonstrator, reach out to that demonstrator, and I'm sure that they will be happy to help you out. Remember that for the month of September, every week there are new specials going on. But this is the biggest week, because you can take advantage of the weekly specials, which will be announced tomorrow. And you can take advantage of them on Thursday, because on Thursday you can get 15% off all of the stamp sets in the catalog, with the exception of the Hostess sets. You can't; those are not on sale because they're a big bargain as they are. So if you are, I would go make your list now, but make sure you mark your calendar so that you do not forget on Thursday. Patty is thirsty. Go have a drink, Patty. Anyway, those are my Oktoberfest cards. Sorry for the mess up at the middle, but hey, live TV, it happens. In any case, have a good night, guys. I will see you next Tuesday. But again, reach out if you do have any questions, or if there's anything you need. Absolutely, reach out, and we'll get you taken care of. Oh, Patty is asking, what are the weekly specials that are ending today? I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. They do end today. There are weekly specials that do end today. So if you are interested, you can go to my website or to your demonstrator's website, and it will have specials, and it will show for you what the weekly specials are. And then tomorrow there will be new ones. So if there's something you absolutely need today, you can go ahead and take advantage of it. But if you want to maximize this week, definitely think about what you might want from the weekly specials tomorrow. On Thursday, right? So that you can take advantage of the 15% off. And don't overlook the fact you can add anything else in there. Anything that's not on sale. You can add clearance rack things if you want. Anything like that, you can add it into that order as well. So you're not limited to just what is on sale. Okay, that is it. I will see you next Tuesday. Thanks for watching, and